Welcome to Take a Card, Make a Card. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
This show is the show where we draft the best 5-match lineup from matches from history using a stipulation that we don't know until we start recording. You know, because you see it in the title and you clicked on the video, which again, thanks for doing that. We have no idea as the time of
I
recording.
envy all of you for knowing.
Yes, because this is our most stressful gimmick we've ever come up with. So here are the rules. Javier and I are going to have 5 minutes to come up with matches once we learn the gimmick. They have to be matches from history. You cannot duplicate a wrestler, so you can't reuse a wrestler. You can't reuse a championship, but they can be from anything else as long as it falls within the parameters. We've previously had ones with all hosses. We've had one where all the matches took place in Japan. We've had all Attitude Era matches. And then it's up to you in the comments after we reveal our picks to say which is the best match, who has the best set of cards. Now, we also agree that 5 matches is the right size of a card because that's what takeovers are, and takeovers are correct.
Yeah. We're looking at you, Tony Khan.
Yes, we're looking at you, old like WrestleManias, fucking 19 matches it felt like.
God. WrestleMania 35. We're looking at you.
Yes, God. I think that's the one that was sponsored by Rocket League.
Yeah.
And that
was 34, I think.
34. Yeah, no, 35 wasn't. So, fun fact, Rocket League was sponsoring it, and there's so many Rocket League ads during this super long pay-per-view that my buddy and I just downloaded Rocket League during it and started playing it and had WrestleMania on a second screen. And we were like, this game is sick. No wonder people play this. This is great.
Rocket League.
It's a great time. Sponsor us, Rocket League. All right.
Please.
So, I have Take Card, Make Card up on the screen. There are 13 choices to choose from. Javier is going to pick one. What is our gimmick going to be this week?
Evan, what's your favorite number?
My favorite number is 27, which is not helpful in any way.
Okay, so I'm not choosing anything that involves a 2 or a 7.
Okay.
We're choosing number 3.
Number three is 1 match per promotion. It can be any promotion in the world. 1 match per promotion. This might be the easiest one we've ever had.
But also hard.
But also, how do you decide between, 60 years of WWE content?
Versus fucking 3 years if you want to choose AEW of AEW. 4
Any
New
New Japan matches? This is going to be a lot of stuff. We have 5 minutes on the clock to decide 1 match per promotion. This is, I think, going to be the first time where we have at least one of the same match. I'm almost guaranteeing it.
I'm concerned.
I'm alarmed too. 5 minutes starts right now.
5 minutes later.
The timer has gone off. Remember what I said about this being easy?
It was not easy. This was hard. This is so hard.
How do you pick your favorite matches in all of these promotions? Okay. I believe last time we did this, you went first.
Probably.
So I will go first this time. Before we do anything, I want you to list, not in order of the matches they appear, but list the 5 promotions you chose.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter if this is it's not going to be the order anyways. I chose WWE.
Okay.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
Stardom.
Okay.
All Japan Pro Wrestling. And TNA.
Okay. I have WCW/NWA. I have New Japan. I have All Japan Women's Wrestling.
Ooh.
I have AEW.
Okay.
And I have WWE.
Ooh, fun.
Okay, let's start with my opener. Let's get weird with it immediately off the hop. All Japan Women's Wrestling. Bull Nakano. Aja Kong. All Japan Women's Marine Piad 1990. One of the craziest matches we have ever covered on a podcast, Crossbody of Work. It's worth it. It's worth the watch. It's like 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's a crazy match. It's a crazy opener. It's what I think of when I think of All Japan Women's Wrestling is that type of match.
They tried to kill each other.
They tried to kill each other.
It's freaking hilarious. It's like what you would expect an ECW match to be.
And it honestly, it made me go away from ECW because there are enough hardcore, very intense matches on my card that I was like, I don't need an ECW match. It makes up for it. Number 2 is my entrance into the world of New Japan, a match again we've covered on Crossbody of Work, featuring my personal favorite Katsuyori Shibata versus Kazuchika Okada at Sakura Genesis 2017.
Oh, the unfortunate match.
for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Tell the people why it's the unfortunate match.
Because I forget the exact medical term, but he got is it a hematoma?
Yeah.
He got like a some something
Subdermal
hematoma.
hematoma or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it like fucked with his brain, and
Yeah.
he had
The
to
fact that-
retire for a few years.
The fact that Shibata has come back is incredible, but this match also, if you watch it, is unbelievable. This match is so good. 3, 2 WCW/NWA. If you're gonna go with one match from like 80s NWA, you have to go Flair, and you have to go Steamboat, and you have to go Chi-Town Rumble 1989 for the NWA World Title.
It's a good one. That's
What
a good
a
pick.
match!
It's a great pick.
My hardest thing to do was to find a tag match from the remaining promotions because I wanted to put a tag match on there. So that takes me to AEW.
Oh,
I don't know if you're thinking you might be thinking the same one.
there are multiple.
There are some
options
bangers.
here, actually.
I'm going with what I think is maybe the first amazing one, and that is All Out 2021, the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers, the steel cage match for the AEW World Tag Titles.
That is not the first amazing.
You're thinking
one.
the ladder match?
No, that's not the first amazing. The first amazing one was Kenny and Hangman versus the Young Bucks from Revolution 2020.
Yes, you're right. My timeline's
it's a good
all
pick.
screwed
No,
up.
I love that pick for you. It's a great match. I don't think it's the best one. I don't even think it's the second best one. Second best tag match that they've had. But it's a great match nonetheless, and it's super. I think it's the most fun of the tag matches.
Maybe I think that's how I grade my tag matches. That was fun. This might be the weirdest pick for a WWE match.
Okay.
I went with Money in the Bank. I went with Cena versus Punk. I went with that match and that atmosphere and that, which also like now I have 2 Chicago matches. Like, do I just should I have picked all my matches from Chicago?
All Out Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, so I have 3 Chicago matches and then 2 in Japan. Maybe Chicago is. I mean, I think I have to go to Chicago. Cena versus Punk is the best modern like stakes match I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean it's the match that
atmosphere.
had the most. Like if Cena had won that match,
Chicago would have burned to the ground.
I genuinely do not know what would have happened, but it would not have been pretty.
When I thought of like what is the WWE match I want, obviously WWE is like the most sports entertaining of all of them. So it's like, do I go with Shawn versus Taker? Do I go with Austin Hart? Do I go with one of the women's matches because they have a tremendous women's division now, right?
Yeah.
And then I kept coming back to like, I need John Cena versus CM Punk. It's just the most like fitting and like main event match. I still go back and watch it.
It's a great match. I like to go back and watch like highlights of it.
Yeah,
like those like 5-minute compilations.
You know what the shitty thing about this match is? Like the only downfall is that Alberto Del Rio's in it for a little bit. It's the only thing holding it late. So that's my 5. I have a lot of work rate because obviously I have the All Japan Women's match. I have Shibata Okada. I have the tag match. Flair and Steamboat are going to put on a clinic, and then it ends with quite the ending.
Oh, brother, you want work rate?
You went full work rate? All right,
no, nothing.
Go ahead.
I'm still deciding in my head how I want to order this, so I'm just doing this one on the fly. My opener, unfortunately, bumped off their main event slot, which was historic at the time. We're going to go to TNA. The Cruiserweights main evented, but they're not, or the X Division main evented, but they're not doing it this time. AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe from Unbreakable 2005 is my kickoff match. And I wanted to let the main event because it would have been funny if I had just let the X Division main event this card.
You have all the choice in the world and you're like, I pick a fucking TNA main event. You can't stop me.
But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was too fun. It's the perfect opener, I feel. It's the perfect opener.
Oh, absolutely.
It'd
be a great opener.
Next, God, it's difficult. I have a women's match, so I'm going to throw them in there. Io Shirai versus Mayu Iwatani
Yeah.
from Year End Climax 2016. In my opinion, still the greatest women's match I have ever seen in my life.
The three women who I quickly went through their their match listing in my brain were Mayu Iwatani, Manami Toyota, and Aja Kong, and I went with Aja Kong. Like that.
Yeah, it's fair.
Those were the three who I was like, okay, which of their matches do I want? But that's a great pick. We've covered that in the podcast as well.
Shout out to Manami Toyota.
Absolutely.
I really wanted to pick one of your matches, but
yeah, same.
Okay, we're gonna go this way just because there's a title involved. WWE. This one's gonna surprise you because it's such a Javier pick. It's not even funny. Royal Rumble 2017, John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Really?
Is my pick. Yes.
Wow.
AJ Styles is pulling double duty on this card.
Wait, hold on. You can't do that.
I can't do that.
We can't duplicate wrestlers.
Fuck
That's
it.
one of the rules.
I've messed up completely. We are removing that from the list.
Oh my God.
In its place, we will put another Javier staple. We're going to put Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar from the way out 2004.
That's a better match that's a more fun match in my opinion. Not a better
And
match,
we're putting
more
that in
fun
there
match.
because, God damn it, there's a title change. Eddie cheated. But it doesn't matter.
Great call. That's our first violation. That's fantastic. We haven't had one of those before. I could have a little yellow flag to throw.
It was absent-minded. I wanted to put a John Cena match in there, but whatever.
All right.
We're going to get a tag match going. It's All Japan Pro Wrestling. It's Kobashi Masao versus Kawada and Taue.
It's a good match.
From June 95. I don't remember any of the details of that one.
I just remember, again, we've covered it on the podcast. It was like 40 minutes long. It was outstanding.
Truly a 5-star match in capsule. Like it might honestly still to this day be the greatest tag team match I have ever seen. It was so freaking good.
Yeah. All right. And what's your main?
This is the sentimental pick because it's the sentimental pick of all sentimental picks aside from the Eddie Guerrero match. New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada 4 from Dominion 2018. The 2 out of 3 falls match. Kenny finally wins the belt.
Yeah.
He finally did it. In my opinion, the best of their matches together, still to this day. And I hope that they never wrestle again because it was the perfect singles set off for the two of them against each other.
God, what a set of matches.
Yeah.
And
I think I won. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I won. I feel very confident that I won this week.
I think I won. What a set of matches. What an incredible set. Like, here's the thing is I looked up, of course, best New Japan matches. And I was like, well, I don't feel right doing matches I haven't seen fully.
Yeah.
Right. So that eliminated most of Okada Omega. I'm like, I can't really, I've seen clips. I can't really do it. But I can do Okada versus Shibata. I can do that. And that's outstanding. There are companies we didn't even touch. There's no ECW matches on here, which is...
There's no ECW.
There's no Ring of Honor.
There's no Ring of Honor, which I would have done. But you know what's weird is that I remember the stipulation of you can't double up wrestlers for Kobashi, but I didn't for Styles.
Because you just needed more AJ Styles. Well, one of them, he has a whole other haircut.
Because I was going to do Ring of Honor, and I was going to put Kobashi versus Samoa Joe.
But you can't do that.
I couldn't do that, so I was like, oh, screw ROH, let me put the TNA in there. Having already put AJ Styles versus John Cena. That was the first match I put down.
So that's actually my other question. What was the first match you thought of?
Yeah. Well, it's just John Cena, man. I wasn't going to pick anyone other than Cena. And then I eventually did. I picked my actual favorite wrestler ever, which was Eddie Guerrero.
The first thing I landed on was Flair versus Steamboat, which I did not think would be the first place to go. I was like, I need a WCW match. What's the first thing I think of in WCW? It was Flair and Steamboat.
I had 2 matches down before the counter even started, probably. Because I picked immediately, it was Steena Styles, Omega Okada 4.
I was Flair Steamboat, and then I started, like I said, doing the Rolodex of Mayu Iwatani and Manami Toyota and Aja Kong. I was like, which of those matches do I want? And then I remember the one where Aja Kong and Bull Nakano tried to kill each other. And I said, yeah.
That's such an Evan match.
That sounds sick. There's scissors in it. Why is this? Anyways, it's up to you in the comments to decide who had the better set of matches. You see the cards in their totality right there. You let us know who had the better one, and you let us know other things to add to the list of these random gimmicks we can do. We love doing take a card, make a card. It's stressful for 5 minutes, and then we end up with really wonderful matches. So You let us know who you think had the better set of matches. Javier, where can people find you on social media?
I'm on the Twitter machine at JMelloSports. Lob the boy a follow. Also, tell me why one of our suggestions at this point should probably just be matches that took place in Chicago.
Apparently, because I'm a big Chicago guy. You know me, not putting ketchup on hot dogs. Follow me on Twitter at @7gomes, ITSEVANGOMES. Follow the podcast, most importantly, at CrossBodyWork on Twitter, on Instagram, and of course, hit subscribe here on YouTube. Let us know other things we should be doing. As you're watching this, we've completed our whole 3-part series on Edge. Go and listen to that wherever you get podcasts or here on YouTube. We will be back soon with another stressful edition of Take a Card, Make a Guard. We'll talk to you then.
I'm losing hair because of this.